The top 5 things I wish I knew before planting my growing dome greenhouse. Number 1, it's important to remember that you're establishing an ecosystem. That's not something that's going to happen overnight. During your first year especially, you're going to try many things. Some of them are going to work great, others not so much. It's okay. Just remember that there are no mistakes in gardening, only experiments. Number 2, the growing dome has 4 main zones. Your eastern zone receives early morning sun and tends to be a bit cooler. The southern zone receives the most sun overall and tends to experience the most extreme temperatures. The western side receives intense afternoon sun, and the central zone is going to be the most temperate overall. Make sure to keep these microclimates in mind when planting your growing dome. Number 3, not all plants have the same soil preferences. Certain plants have different tolerances for NPK levels in the soil, or nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. We recommend testing your soil in a few different locations and amending according to what you're going to plant there for that season. It's also important to remember that certain plants like loamy soil, certain plants like sandy soil, and certain plants are heavy feeders that will require amendments throughout the year. Just because you filled your beds with a high-quality soil and compost doesn't mean you're done. Number 4, even though it's a greenhouse, the growing dome will still experience seasons. It was designed to mimic a Mediterranean climate, meaning that the summers are going to be more hot and dry, and the winters are going to be more cool and wet. Depending on your geographical location and your growing zone, you might not have success with growing tomatoes in January or Brussels sprouts in June without any added heating or cooling. For highest yield, it's always best to plant with the seasons. You can use our planting planner for guidance. Number 5, utilize your vertical space. One of the main benefits of a growing dome over a traditional greenhouse is all of the vertical space that you get. We recommend planting deciduous trees like figs or vining plants like grapes that will help provide a shade canopy to your ecosystem in the summer months. We do provide you with a shade cloth to help when you're establishing your growing dome to provide shade to your plants below. And these are the top 5 things I wish I knew before planting my growing dome greenhouse.